This is the Python, Falcon DeLacy's pocket-sized anaconda, one of the most heavily armed freighters in the galaxy. A ship that some commanders claim is the perfect balance of size, firepower, and utility, but a ship that every commander respects as it steps onto the field. A proficient trader, explorer, and combat vehicle, the Python is a multi-purpose ship for established pilots who know what they need their ship to be able to handle. This is a ship capable of hauling only slightly less cargo than the Type 7, while still sporting enough firepower to hold its own against an anaconda. Calling it a jack-of-all-trades wouldn't be giving it enough credit. This is a tank moonlighting as a delivery van. It is a staggeringly well-made machine, and yet another ship built by DeLacy, but designed by someone else, Whitney. And that's important, because the Python is responsible for all other modern ship designs. It was the first ship to introduce a modular design scheme, allowing equipment, weaponry, and modules to be switched out on demand. When Whitney were purchased by Falcon DeLacy, they licensed out the modular grid system to all their competitors across the bubble. For free. That's why you can take your favorite engineered railgun from your Crusader and put it on your cutter with relative ease. It also has the added benefit that when DeLacy buys your company, it makes taking over that much easier. At this rate, it's likely that a DeLacy ship will be the first and last ship you ever own, one way or the other. Imagine what would have happened if the Python had flopped. But it's been 600 years since the Python came out. How does it stand up to more modern designs? Well, the answer is well. This ship can unleash a frankly obscene amount of damage. When you deploy the hardpoints, you get this rush of adrenaline, a tremor of excitement that runs down your spine, like someone just gave you permission to light Donald Trump on fire. Yes, please. Now, I want to preface this by saying I love the Anaconda. It is far and away my favorite ship. But the Python does make a compelling argument to fly it instead. It doesn't have a Class 4 hardpoint, but the hardpoints it does have are placed better. It's smaller, but that just means I don't have to worry about where to park it. It's also faster, more agile, and it's half the price of its bigger brother. So, pound for pound, this just might be the better value. What other ship could possibly compare? Well, what we have here is a faster, cheaper, equally well-armed ship with a fighter bay. The Crate. A machine built to make the Python into an antique. And that's interesting, because they're both made by Falcon DeLacy. On paper, they're pretty evenly matched. The Python has more armor, of course, but the Crate has more speed and a better pitch rate. The big difference, though, is the Python has one more Class 6 internal slot. So if you have a hull or module reinforcement in there, then you've got a lot more leeway in a fight. That is not what I expected. Let's try that again. We did this test a couple times. Here's the thing. It can really go either way. These ships really are pretty evenly matched. And I'll link down to Down to Earth Astronomy's video if you wanted more detailed breakdown. I really couldn't tell you which ship is better. To be honest, not too long ago, if you wanted a mid-sized ship with a lot of firepower and room for cargo, you didn't have a lot of options. So it's hard to complain about having choices. But the Python has history and a legacy. It can take more punishment, and it has more room to put things. So it makes it all the more painful that I prefer the Crate. Because as great as the Python is, I just don't have a use for it. If I'm going out to kill things, I'd rather use a crate. If I'm hauling cargo or passengers, I don't have a reason not to use my anaconda instead. And for exploration, there's really no reason not to use the Phantom. If you already have a Python in your dock, you know that it is a fantastic ship, capable of single-handedly taking down a Haz-res site. You know it can move cargo through the most dangerous systems, take down pirate lords, or become the scourge of an anarchy system. But if you haven't bought one yet, I can't give you a good reason to buy it now. Because the Python is a great ship that nobody needs. Real quick, I wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and let me know down below what ship you want to see next. If you like what you saw, consider hitting the subscribe button, and if you already have, then thank you again, and I'll see you next week.